Today's topic, a new topic, operating systems. So basically, operating system in our computer is one of the main components. Without the operating system, we will not be able to see what is inside hardware and how these things are done inside the hardware. So that we will not know, right? Example, think about this. Let's say you have a pen drive. A simple example. Let's say you have a pen drive. So by observing the pen drive, can anyone tell what is inside that? What kind of files? Can anyone tell what is inside this? Okay, let's say there's a pen drive. I have a pen drive with me. මගේ ළඟ pen drive එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්න. Just assume that I have a pen drive. So can you tell what are the files inside that? And what are the type of files, the movies, or whether those are images? So normally you can't tell neither. So you don't know what is inside that. Because this is hardware. But when you connect this to a computer, computer will recognize and tell, okay, this is a pen drive, and inside that, these are the files and folders. That is basically informed to us by the operating system. Okay, here in my computer, I have Mac operating system, Mac OS, and it says there are 1, 2, 3, 4 folders. Out of that 3 folders, 3 are hidden. So this is one folder that is also, so what is inside that? Basically images. My operating system tells that. So I believe that in this pen drive, these are the files. I believe what my operating system informs me. Okay, that's why we tell this. It hides the internal complexity of hardware components as serves as intermediary between hardware and users. It's a very important point. I think you can write down the operating system. So why operating system? What's important? Because it hides the internal complexity. It hides the internal complexity of hardware components and serves as an intermediary. It's a middle layer between us and computer hardware. And so it is also known as a resource manager. So these are the 2 points. So main functionalities of operating system. Functionality number 1, act as an intermediary, provide an interface. Functionality number 2, the main thing, that is a resource manager, right? So those are the main points, but so this is very short. I think you can write down this. This is self-explanatory. It hides the internal complexity of hardware as well as it works as a resource manager. So no need to write down the singular notes, so it's for singular medium students. Just write down the English medium one. Then I'll demonstrate the layers of this operating system. There are different layers. So let's see what is done by this operating system. Finish. Tell me once you're done. I'll send you this, but only after the lesson, right? Normally, I'm not sending this big in like before the lesson. The reason is that you will be lazy. You will think that I have a note. So just so you will not focus enough to the lesson. That's why. Okay, finish, right? Okay. So what it does? So let me show one example. What is this internal complexity? So let's think about this. This is a small animation shows how your hard disk works. So this I have taken from Animal Graphs. This animation explains how hard disk works. Okay, right. Let me zoom this. You can also visit this link I'll send you. So in case like if you need to see this in more detail, you can just go and watch, right? So I have sent the link. How hard disk work? So this is traditional hard disk or magnetic disk. You can see there are some plates of the platters. So these are called platters or disks. And this is actuator. This is the actuator, means it's moving head back and forth, right? This is head actually, the read-write head. It is moved forward and backward. Actually, this rotates in a certain speed we call revolutions per minute or rounds per minute. Revolutions per minute. Rounds per minute is also accurate. But why revolutions? Because simultaneously, you can see multiple heads are there. This is just one head. But underneath of that, there's another head. There's another head. Altogether, there are 4 platters. 1, 2, 3, 4 platters. So there are 8 heads. Because both sides can be read and written. දෙපැත්තටම ලියන්න කියවන්න පුළුවන්. හරි. උඩට ලියන්න පුළුවන්, පල්ලෙහාට ලියන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට platters 4යි කියන්නේ you can 1 2 3 4 platters නේ surfaces. උඩයි යටයි ගත්තම 8ක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර head 8ක් තියෙනවා. ඔය head 8ම move වෙනවා ඉස්සරහට. එක සැරේ හරියට අපේ ඇඟිලි එකක් move කරන්න හැදුවම අනිත් ඇඟිලි ටිකක් පස්සෙන් යනවා. අපි අත ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්න හැදුවම අනිත් ඇඟිලි ටිකක් යනවාමනේ. මැද ඇඟිල්ල විතරක් ඉස්සරහට ගෙනියන්න බෑ. අනිත් ඇඟිලි ටිකත් එක පස්සෙන් එනවා. ඒ වගේ තමයි මේ ටික actuator අතක් වගේ තියෙන්නේ. This actuator when it moves back and forth, all the heads are moving back and forth. Therefore, these rotations are called revolutions. Not really rotations per minute. Hard disk එක ගණිත මේවා තියෙනවා. So a hard disk, when you purchase hard disk, there's something called RPM. RPM is the speed of the hard disk. Okay, RPM here 1200 RPM. Revolution per minute. Right? Performance of the hard disk is measured by these revolutions. Right? Revolutions per minute. RPM. Yeah. Revolutions per minute. විනාඩියට යන ඔයගේ වක්‍ර ගාන, වට ගාන. So it's rotating. This is not SSD. This is HDD, right? Normal hard disk. Okay, when it rotates, the data written to these platters, surfaces. So how data written? So let's study about that. So in this actuator, there is a permanent magnet. Here, permanent magnet is there. So you know magnet has 2 things. So what are they? The right side, the north and south. North and south. So when it moves one side, so this head is like, head is given one direction, but when it moves the other side, the head is given other direction. Here, let's say this is south north. මේ පැත්ත south north. මේ පැත්ත north south කියලා. ඒතර මේ පැත්තට එද්දි head එකට යන එක ජාතියක signal එකක්. මේ wire දෙකේ මේ coil එක දිගේ මේ පැත්තෙන් head එකට යනවා. මෙහෙට එද්දි යන්නේ එක signal එකක්. මෙහෙට එද්දි යන්නේ තව signal එකක්. So that is the effect of this rotation. So these rotations basically captured and sent to the head of this hard disk, head of this actuator. When head receives this information, head will magnetize the surface. When the head receives this information, head will magnetize the surface according to the magnetism transferred to it. Here you can see there's a magnetism which is transferred. So the surface is magnetized according to that magnetism transfer. So then this, so maybe you can say south north is 1 and north south is 0. So it is transferred to the surface ultimately. So this is electromechanical process. It has electronic, it has mechanical parts too. This is electromechanical process. But anyway, ultimately, 1s and 0s are stored in this hard disk. That is what happens. 1s and 0s, those are stored in the hard disk. These 1s and 0s, you know, we learned in this data representation chapter, we learned about binaries. And how do we represent characters, Puti? So what is the mechanism? Can you tell me a way of representing characters? So how computers represent characters? So how computer represent numbers? We learned 3 things. Sign and magnitudes, 1's complement, 2's complement. Which method is used to store numbers?
2's complement.
2's complement is used to store numbers. Okay. Which method is used to store the characters? There are multiple methods. Can you remember ASCII, Unicode? ASCII characters, Unicode characters, BCD characters, MCD characters, extended ASCII. We learn about that neither. You can have computer 1 0 will store numbers with 1 0. Let's say you get number 5. You can't send 5 because you have only 1 and 0 only. Hard disk 5 you have to send all 1s and 0s. So it is simply you will be sending this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. You are just sending like this. Maybe the signal like hard. This says plus 30, plus 5. Plus 5 value. Then if it is minus 5, it will be sent as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, plus 1. If it is minus 5, this will be sent like minus 5, plus 5, minus 5. These are 2's complement numbers. So this is how signals are sent to the hard disk, right? Ultimately, how to send it to the computer. Binary. We learned the method how to send these numbers. Then characters of them, character A in ASCII value of character A is 65. Unicode value of character A is also 65. So ASCII 65 can be written as 10000001. So Unicode 65 same way 10000001. එකකුයි දෙකේ වනේ හතරේ වනේ අටනේ 16 නේ 32 64. හැබැයි අර Unicode ඉන්න bit 16කින් පෙන්නනවා. එතකොට මෙතන තියෙනවනේ 1 2 3 4 5 6 7ක්. එතකොට 8යි 9යි 10යි 11යි 12යි 13යි 14යි 15යි 16. Unicode වලින් යනවා නම් මෙහෙම. ASCII වලින් යනවා නම් 1 2 3 4 5 6 7යි. ASCII 7යිනේ කොහොමද තියෙන්නේ? 2 2 3 4. ASCII වලින් යනවා නම් ඔය උඩ විදිහ වෙනවා. Unicode වලින් යනවා නම් පල්ලෙහා විදියට. Anyway, what you need to know, everything will be sent to the computer using these binaries. හරි එච්චරයි. එතකොට මේ binaries තමයි මේ hard disk වල එහෙම save වෙන්නේ. It has mechanism to save these binaries and all. ඒතර binaries magnetize කරලා තමයි save කරන්නේ. මොකද එක බින්දුව hard එකේ ලියන්න බෑනේ බෑනක් කරගෙන. ඒ හින්දා magnetism වලින් තමයි ඒක අඳුරගන්නේ. I hope you clear. That's why I said all the lessons are related, right? Lesson එකකින් lesson එකක් related. The number system මතක නැතුව එකපාරටම මේක දැන් අහුවම සමහරට ඔයගලන්ට පොඩ්ඩක් confuse වෙන්න පුළුවන්. හරි ඒකට හේතුව අර number system ඉගෙනගෙන නැත්තම් මතක. So all the lessons are related. So be careful. So if you learn like that in the examination, it's very, very easy to answer the questions, right? Okay, anyway, so now we remember something at least. We know what are the numbers and how those are represented. We know what are the characters and how those are represented. Even images, videos sound same way, right? Even A level වල නැහැ. In A level, you don't have image representation. I learned image representation in my masters. පශ්චාත් උපාධිය කරද්දී තමයි මම ඉගෙන ගත්තේ image representation lesson එකක් විදිහට. But it was there for my degree as well, but I didn't learn that as a subject. So later I learned in my master's degree. And sound representation also in master's degree. So don't worry, you will not have that in your A levels. A levels වල even. හරි ඉතින් ඒක බය වෙන්න එපා. You have only the number representation and character representation. Others you don't have. But everything need to be represented. Hurry. Back to the lesson. So what is the topic today? Operating systems. But can you understand that the story in converting this process is complex? ඒක තේරෙනවද නේ? හොඳටම තේරෙනවද? අයියෝ ඒක complex කියන්නේ. So converting into numbers, sending into the devices, storing by converting to a magnetism is not a simple thing. But for you, Pute, if you just go to your pen drive, you just go to your pen drive and then right click, go to pen drive, then right click Create a folder is very simple task, isn't that so? Right click, create a folder is a baby work. The right click, create a folder. But when you do this, what will happen? Well, make a local process. Hard disk binaries, write note south particles, convert. All these things will happen. So you see that is very, very complex process. But who hides that? It is your operating system. Right? Your operating system won't bother you because it hides all these things. Sorry, it hides all these things and show you a nice interface to interact with. But internally, the process is really, really critical. Okay, internally, the process is critical. So we need operating system because it hides the internal complexity. The middleman. You tell to the computer, right click, create folder. Middleman will understand. It will convey your hard disk by sending some instructions and also sending some binaries to do that task and store that binary pattern in your hard disk. So you just go and double click in your folder. You go and double click in your folder, it will open. But in other hand, the operating system, the middleman, it will go to the hard disk and it will open these binaries, or it will take this into the memory. According to these binaries instructions, the memory will be signaled and the processor will be signaled to do something. That is what displaying this matrix. This window is a matrix actually. This is image. We think this as a window, but this is actually a set of bulbs. The bulbs ටික පත් වෙන විදියක් මේකේ. මේ bulbs මෙතන තියෙන නිල් පාට bulb, සුදු පාට bulb, කළු පාට bulb, අලු පාට bulb, රතු පාට අඩු bulbs. මේ වෙන්නේ අතර monitor එකේ bulb ටිකක් පත් වෙන්නේ. But actually your operating system hides that too නේද? මේ monitor එකේ bulb පත් වෙන එක තමයි අපි මේ close button, minimize එහෙම දකින්නේ. But actually this is very complex process which is hidden by the operating system. So that's why I said this and I show you this practically. OS hides the internal complexity and works as the resource manager. Okay, this is you, right? This is you, and this is your computer. It has hardware, it has the operating system, then it has the application software. Actually, top, you can only see the application software part, sometimes of system software part, but anyway, hardware layer is indeed, you will not be able to observe that directly because the OS hides that, and not only that, on top of that, there are application software programs. Okay, let's keep some, so no need to write out that today. Okay, then the history of operating system. The history of operating system and the first generation, or we call 0th generation operating system, has no operating system. So operating system is no operating system. No කියන්නේ නමක් එහෙම නෙවෙයි. Operating system එක ඇත්තේ නැහැ. තිබ්බේ නැහැ. First generation operating system, you didn't have anything. There was no operating system in the first generation. Okay, sorry. So the first generation operating system was no operating system, means there were no operating systems, nothing. So program language creators or the programmers need to go to the particular machine and understand the machine instructions and instruct to the hardware. That was not easy, right? It's like this. So first generation computers, so the computer, so I'll give a small example. But this is not a first generation computer. නිකම්ම අදහසක් දෙන්න. So what is this machine language, right? In machine language, there are two things. So input and output. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඉලෙක්ට්‍රොනික වල output එකක් දෙන්න ගන්නේ bulb එක. නැත්නම් sounds නම් අපිට speaker එකක් ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. motion එකක් නම් ගන්න පුළුවන් motor එකක්. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ගන්නේ bulb එක. monitor එක ඇතුළේ තියෙන bulbs වලින්ම තමයි. bulbs ගොඩකින්. input දෙන්න ගන්නේ අපි switch. හරි අපි හිතමු මෙහෙම circuit එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. let's think that there's a circuit like this and okay, wire here and wire here connecting this. And another wire here connecting this, and another wire connecting this, and there's another wire connecting this with a switch which is connecting to this. Okay, so this is like a machine, right? This is like a machine, but this very small thing. This is not a big thing. This is very, very small circuit. All right. Okay. So you can turn on the bulb by just putting the switch. You can see when you put the switch. Okay. Something wrong here. I need to have a battery. Without battery, how to do the current? Current I can do the let's connect this. Okay, you can see then make a circuit එකක් විදිහට හිතන්න. So this bulb I can use several instructions, right? Bulb එකට instruction කීපයක් දෙන්න පුළුවන්. එකක් තමයි bulb එකට මේක දැම්මොත් if I put this switch පුතේ bulb එක භාගයට පත් වෙනවා. You can see the brightness is half, right? It's not brighter because you can see that electricity goes through the resistor. Resistor එකක් කරා යන හින්දා so the control, it has a control. Therefore, the light is, you can see it's not that much bright. But when you put this switch also, you can see it's more brighter, right? It's brighter than the previous because then there is a way to electrons to travel without this resistance. So the brightness will be high. When you turn off these, both will off. Right? Let's say you have two switches. So what is the machine language for this circuit? Machine language to this circuit is basically, let's say you have A switch and B switch and the output. So let's turn off both. A, B, dekam off na. A off, B off. A0, B0, then the output is also off. No, you have no signal. So then let's say this is A. Let's say this is A and this is B, right? So let's say somebody has turned on A only. Something like this, right? A only, can A1, B0, right? Then you can see the output is, you can say half brightness, right? Okay. Then you have two kind of output. This is off. The next one is half. So let's turn off this and turn on B. That has no impact, right? No impact means, so turn off A and or B on turn on. So again, you can see it's 0 off. So then A, B both. Now you can see it is A, B dekama dunnat full. Okay, how many states this bulb can represent? Either full state, half state, or off state. Then මේ bulb එකට state තුනක් තියෙනවා. On off විතරක් නෙවෙයි. සාමාන්‍ය එක switch එකක් විතරක් දැම්මොත් if you put only one switch, there will be on status and off status. Switch එකක් දැම්ම නම් on state, off states only. But since you have two switches, now turn on both, full brightness, turn off this, half brightness, turn off both, off. 3 status will be there. Status තුනක් තියෙනවා. So, if I am a programmer in first generation, පළවෙනි generation operating system නැති කාලේ, if I am a programmer, what I have to go do is I have to go and understand the machine wiring. Machine එක wiring කරලා තියෙන හැටි මම තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන. So that was the challenge for the first generation programmers. It was not easy. ගිහිල්ලා දැන් මෙහෙම නෙවෙයි. So do you know about ENIAC? ENIAC, what is ENIAC? Have you heard of ENIAC computer? Yes. What is ENIAC? Yes. No one. ENIAC. Electronic numerical integrator and computer. That is the first electronic computer. That is the first electronic computer, right? So make it hand soldered joints. Atim passapo joints. Sorry, me switches. Hand soldered joints. You can see this. This is from Pen Today, UPenn's this education website. And ENIAC was weight 30 tons and 1,800 square feet. And 17,000, then 1,500 relays means switches. Switches to be nothing in this fancy, yeah. And then 70,000 resistors, capacitors, nearly 5 million hand soldered joints. Atim pass up then million. එතකොට මේ ENIAC වගේ පරණ computer එක, this is first generation computer. If you want to program ENIAC, then what? මෙහෙම තමයි program කරන්න ඕනේ. You can see. They need to know about all the switches. So 10,000 switches, right? Need to know about all the switches and their behaviors. And also the hand soldered points. And also the resistors. So it was not an easy job. ඒ කාලේ program දෙනවා කියන එක lazy වැඩක් නෙවෙයි. So this is the first generation. Program use machine language. Then මම පෙන්වන්නේ ප්‍රායෝගිකව. Programmer use machine language to instruct the hardware and communication. So second generation, end of the second generation, hardware generation 2, then operating systems were introduced. So that is brief history. So in first generation, no operating system, where machine language was used to instruct the computer. In the second generation, only the operating system came. And the first type of operating systems was CLI, command line interface. First type of operating systems were command line interface operating systems. Okay, write down these points, Kute. First generation, no operating system were there. No need to write down bigger notes because no one will ask. And programmer used the machine language to start. And end of the second generation, the operating systems came, and the first type of operating systems were command line interface. Please write down this part. Show you this. Okay, I would like to show you this CLI first. I think it's better if. Okay, who's joining with your computer? All are joining with mobile phones, or anyone join with the computer? Can you please raise your hand if you're joining with your laptop or computer? Oh, okay, met me. Right. So in that case, met me, can you share the screen? Then I'll give you some exposure to this command line interface, right? So please share your screen, then I can just tell you how to use this CLI. Okay, Senali, one of you, Senali, anyone? Anyone of you can share? Come on, quickly. I just need to, you can share your screen with it. Just share your screen, then I'll teach what this CLI and how to use, because this will be beneficial. Okay, Senali, thank you. And please open, go to your Windows icon and click it. There. No, just the Windows icon, not there. May metana palla hai Windows icon. Just click on that. and then search for command line. Actually, still you have this, right? Yeah, search for command line, command prompt here. This is here, command prompt. So this is similar to CLI, right? Earlier days, we had a computers. When you turn on the computer, I started learning computer in 1996. I think even before you born, right? Is it? 1996 I hope no. Right? So we started, I started learning computer in 1996. Actually, that time when I turned on the computer, there was nothing, only the black and white screen. Color, mouse, only black and white screen. And actually, we couldn't even operate the computer. So without a floppy disk, because floppy disk had the operating system. Again, is there a pen drive floppy disk file geniyan. Api operating system එක floppy disk එකේ දාගෙන ගෙනියන්න ඕනේ ඉස්කෝලේ. හරිද? computer එකක් on වෙලා වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ කියන්නේ computer එකේ නෑ operating system එක. ඒතර අපි floppy disk එකේ දාගෙන ගෙනිච්චට පස්සේ තමයි computer එක on කරගන්නේ. නැත්තම් මෙන්න මෙහෙම ඇවිල්ලා නවතිනවා. ඔච්චර තමයි කළු සුදු screen එකේ A කියලා එන්නේ A drive එකනේ. ඇවිල්ලා නවතිනවා no disk found කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ floppy disk එක දාලා on කරගන්න ඕනේ. Floppy disk එක දාලා on කරාට පස්සේ මෙන්න මේ විදිහට on වෙනවා. Okay, so let's learn few commands. අපි බලමු commands කීපයක් ඉගෙනගෙන. So use this command. First command is dir. Type the අනිත් අයත් කරලා බලන්න. You can do this using your own computer. Okay, when you press dir and press enter, you can see the folders and files which are there. Double click on dir. These are the folders and files in your computer. You can see dir folders. All these are folders. Actually, here dot means same folder, right? Dot means same folder. Again, ඔයාටම කියන නම තමයි same. Me කියලා කියන්නේ මම මටම කියනෝනේ me කියලා. I නැත්තම් me කියලා කියනවා. ඒ වගේ තමයි. This is parent folder. Right? So double dot is parent folder. Example, you can say cd.me. Sorry, cd space dot. Press enter. cd space dot. Press enter. Don't worry, I will not give you write this. You can say it's not changing anything. cd space dot, right? But anyway, that is also okay. cd space dot. And press enter. It's not changing. But if you press cd space dot or cd space double dot, then what will happen? It's navigating to the users folder. Can you see? It's navigating to the parent users. Users like it parent code. cd double dot again, then you can see cd space double dot. Then you can see the parent of user is C drive. After that, you have no parents, right? Again, if you try cd double dot, it will do nothing. cd space double dot, it will do nothing. Right? So this part is important to them. Never schools wala ඔයාලට එහෙම උගන්වන්නේ නැහැ. හේතුව මේකේ syllabus එකේ නැහැනේ. Syllabus එකේ තියෙන අර ටික කටපාඩම් කරන්න. මොකක්ද? Command line interface කියන්නේ මොනවාද? Graphical user interface. කටපාඩම් කරාම ඇති. But මේක ඔයාලා මෙහෙම කරාම තියෙන advantage එක හරි මේක කවුරුත් මේකේ advantage එකක් දකින්නේ. ගොඩාක් පන්තිවල එහෙම කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකට හේතුවක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් අපරාධ කියලා හිතන්නේ මේ ඕන මොකටද ඕනේ නැහැ නේ කියලා. හැබැයි මේක කරාට පස්සේ විභාගෙටයි පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ. You know what is CLI. දැන් මේ අපි වැඩ කරන්නේ command line interface එක. You can see in the command line interface you have to tell everything using commands. That's all. Okay, dir again, it will show the contents of yes, press dir again, dir and enter. Similarly, dir and enter again. Dir. You can see these are the folders and files in your C drive, right? What are they? You can see these are folders, right? Okay, there is one file. You can see this is not dir, and it is a file. Stock proc.bat. There is a file, and you cannot see that dot and double dot. Those are not there. Why? You don't have parents again. Parents la nahi there. C drive again parents la ivarai. So you cannot see any dots and double dots, but you can see a file. Okay, if you want to go to the user folder, users folder, you can type cd space users. CD means change directory. CD space users. And others also please do that. CD space users. This is important. They make one SQL karandi command line SQL karandi. Ilangata networking karandi command line එක ඕන. networking පාඩමෙත් මේක තියෙනවා. SQL පාඩමෙත් මේක තියෙනවා. operating system වල තියෙනවා. Okay, again dir you can see what are the users, what are the user folders. Now you can see the dot and double dot. You can then on a parent and you have a few folders. I think you can go to this folder CD Senali. Press enter, and now you are inside that. Press dir again. Now let's say you want to go to the desktop. How to go to the desktop? You can tell. Yes, you can type the command how to go to the desktop. CD space desktop. Yeah. Press enter and you are in the desktop. That's it. CD desktop. And you are in the desktop, and you can see the files and folders in your desktop. Okay, so is it same or different? Can you go to your desktop? Desktop for Windows key and D key. The shortcut is Windows key D key together. Windows key D key together, and then you are going to the desktop. The Zoom link and this WhatsApp. I think yeah, just minimize it. Okay, this 12 pi ICT D pi, yes, those are there, right? Okay, just that is your desktop, right? That is your desktop. Okay, let's create a folder. Now you know some commands. So tell me the meanings of these commands. dir. You can write down this. Some command line or DOS commands. Some command line commands. So command number 1, you can say dir list all files and folders. In the examination, they won't ask this, right? This is for your practical knowledge only. CD change directory. Change the directory means folder, right? Then we discuss about that CD change directory. Then MD make directory. RD remove directory. Well, let's practice these commands now. MD Senali, MD space Senali. Type the command MD space Senali is your name. So then it will create a folder called Senali in your desktop. You can see this. This is it. RD space Senali will delete that. It won't go to your recycle bin today. It will directly go to. It will directly erase that. Recycle bin directly make it. If you check the recycle bin, it's not there because it will directly delete that. Okay, you cannot see that folder because it's deleted. Right, okay. Another thing, another important command, all of you can try this. Another important command, that is MD. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. MD 1 to 10. Type it with it. MD, then 1 to 10. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, like this. 1 space, 2 space. You have to put space. Space is the delimiter, or space is used to separate this. Press enter and you can see 10 folders in your desktop. So see that it is faster. I'm going to tell you the facts. So these facts will be nothing. So you can easily remember these facts because you have practiced. RD, you can recall the command up arrow. Up arrow you can recall. Up arrow. Then left arrow එක ගහලා D එක යටට ගිහිල්ලා D එකට කලින් නවත්තන්න left arrow එකේ. D එක යටට ගිහිල්ලා නවත්තන්න. ඒකලා backspace එකක් ගහලා නෑ D එක යටින් නවත්තන්න. Backspace R එකක් ගහන්න. Okay, press enter. Right, you can see now it's deleted, right? All the folders deleted. Okay, let's try something. Some innovative command, some another command. For मैंने make command लेके try कराना. For slash dollar yeah slash L percentage I in within bracket 100 do MD percentage I. अन्ना computer का क्लांग तीन आना try कराना मेरे. Yes, read the command and type that for L I in 100 to MD finally percentage I, right? Right. Space दिया मैं L लेकर पास space लगाती L space percentage I space IN space bracket within bracket 100 close the brackets space do space MD space percentage I enter. Okay, what's the result? You will get 100 folders in your desktop. So let's make 1000, make 1000 crore 1000 then 10,000 crore 10,000 100,000 crore 100,000. It's a very powerful command. To delete, call the command again, recall the command again, up arrow, and M menu R them na MD M menu R. Press enter, will be deleted. Instantly, everything will be deleted. Okay, I hope you got that experience. That is your command line. I taught you some commands, MD, RD, then the CD, DIR. These are some commands. If you don't like the color, you can change the color even. So that is color command. You can use COLOR. And if you need to get the help, color /? Color /? COLOR color, okay, correct. Enter. And you can see these colors. You can see different colors 0 to 7, black, blue, green, aqua, red, purple, okay. Gray likewise. Press enter to continue. Just press enter. Now you know the color codes. You can give color COLOR. Then space. Then give the let's give the foreground color. Foreground color. Let's give green color as the foreground. 2. 2 is the green color, right? 2. Then the background color. Let's give background color black 0 20. Color 20. Enter. And you can see it's other way, right? So green background. So you have to go 0 2. Color 0 2. 0 again, black background, green font, right? Likewise, you can change it. I think you have seen all the, like if you have worked with some bands, maybe if your brothers, sisters working with bands, you can ask them. Some banking system backend looks with this, looks like this. On the Linux, you can see these colors. So this is convenient color, which is used in the back end of the brands. Command line systems. So ගොඩක් ඔය මේවලක් තිබ්බා. මොනවාද මේ ඉස්සර දැන් නම් සුපර් මාකට් වල වෙනස්. ඉස්සර සුපර් මාකට් වල සිස්ටම් වලත් මේ පාට තිබ්බා. ගොඩක් වෙලා. It's a command line. Right, okay. Now you got some information. So let's move to the practical. This is a theory class. That's why I give this practical. Now you can just continue and write down this comparison. Right, then when you write this table, remember the things we did. CL, not much interactive. Actually, interactive. It's not giving like double click, drag and drop, pin to mouse එක වැඩකුත් නැහැ ඊ keyboard එකේ command එක දැනගන්නවා. Yes, you need to know the commands. Basic user කෙනෙකුට ටිකක් අමාරුයි. එකපාරට commands මතක තියාගන්න එපා. It's secure. Why? Without command you can't do anything. It's secure and robust, very powerful, robust. It's not struggling or stuck වෙන්නේ, හිර වෙන්නේ, slow වෙන්නේ වනේ. Robust, faster. All but still uses. But still use. Still use. Currently used mostly with servers. Nowadays it's used with servers. Okay, then make it a comparison like a clear people. In the examination, if you ask to write a comparison, so you can see it's very easy because we have already experienced a command line interface. So just as they it's need commands, mouse it's faster, it's robust, it's secure. Yes, these things are there. The other hand, other points, less interactive, more interactive. Mouse is not useful, mouse is used. Commands, then again, no need to know the commands. Difficult for the basic user, easy for the basic user. Secure, this is less secure because anyone can do anything. Robust, here less robust, faster but slower. Here, comparatively new. Mostly work with the client and end user devices because end users like easy tools. Okay, please write down the table now. Any kind of operating system need to be loaded to the main memory to properly execute the commands. So that is called booting up. Right. So we don't call these lights and all. Light is booting, fan is booting. Light boot pena, fan එක boot pena. එහෙම කියන්නේ හැබැයි operating system එකක් තියෙන device එකක් නම් boot වෙනකන් ඉන්න ඕන. Mobile phone we have to wait till it loads it's carefully load the operating system and synchronize with other devices. That is called booting. Right, for the firmware, first of all, actually ROM, the read-only memory, it has firmware installed by the manufacturer. Let me show this practically. I'm going to use a new computer. Okay, how many of you know the virtual machines? Can you raise your hand if you know virtual machines? If you know virtual machine, please raise your hand. Don't know. Oh my God, come on, so let's learn that. Vmware Fusion. Okay, you can download this software. You can download. So when you are talking about this today, so I have some grade 7 students, right? So they know about virtual machine, right? They have installed virtual machines, virtual computers, even the operating systems in these virtual machines. The virtual machine is actually you when you want to create a computer inside your computer. You can ඔයාගේ computer එකේම ඇතුලේ තව චූටි computers හදන්න පුළුවන් virtually, not physically, virtually. Let me create one and show you. Let me delete everything. So this is a software. Vmware Fusion is a software which can be used to create a virtual machine, a virtual computer. I'm going to file new. So it asks me, do you need to migrate, install different options? I'm going to create a custom virtual machine. Create custom virtual machine, click next. And that will ask me what kind of operating system you are going to install into your computer. I can select this. So if I have any operating system, then I can select the operating system here. And if I don't have operating system, I can just imagine this is what I'm going to install. So let's see, I think I have operating system. Give me 5 minutes. I think I have some because I have installed some operating system. Not sure whether I have it now, but okay. Seems not with me. Okay, not this. Okay, I got the pen drive. I think with this I have some operating systems. So if I have, I can show you this now itself. Okay, let me select. I need to install, let's say I need to install some old operating system. I need to install Microsoft Windows and Windows, some old operating system like Windows or Linux, anything like Linux. Let's select operating system, other Linux, maybe other Linux. Continue. So asking me what kind of basic input output system I'm using. Legacy BIOS. I'll explain these things. Continue and create new hard disk. So asking the size of hard disk, 8 GB is enough. So then it's suggesting me some settings. If I don't like, I can edit this. Suggested settings are telling, right, I have 8 GB hard disk and closer to 1 GB RAM, but not 1 GB. It's 768 MB. GB GB will 1 GB will 768 MB and having CD, DVD, USB printer, sound card, all these things. This is a virtual computer, not actual computer. It's not an actual computer, it's only a virtual computer. So let's create this virtual machine, save it. And this is my virtual computer. Then a computer on and if I make this full screen, so let me increase the size like this. So if I double click on this machine, computer, you can see it's turning on. But it's giving me an error because it cannot find the operating system. Then booting is unsuccessful. Booting kila kiyane menna metani. Ena mage computer එක boot on වෙනවා. හැබැයි operating system එක boot වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Operating system එකක් මම දෙන්න ඕන. Let's give operating system. I'm going to virtual machine from CD DVD. I'm going to connect. Choose disk or DVD image, right? DVD එකක් තිබ්බනම් කෙලින්ම දාන්න පුළුවන්. If not, I have to install a virtual DVD. So I have virtual DVD in my computer today. So let's add some virtual DVD. Okay, here Subuntu. Subuntu is Ubuntu operating system. Subuntu again Ubuntu matama. Subuntu, it's operating system. I'm going to open that, right? ISO again a virtual DVD. This file is a virtual, not actual DVD, a virtual DVD. The virtual machine a virtual DVD. Okay. Open this. Then virtual machine, CD DVD, connect. Virtual machine, CD DVD, you can see it's connected, right? Connect back. Okay, here it's connected, right? Now it's asking to disconnect. So my CD DVD is connected to this. Now let me restart the computer. On virtual machine, I'm restarting the computer. Now see the difference. Okay, it start loading the operating system now, and it asks me to install Ubuntu, try Ubuntu, boot from the first hard disk. Boot in this is test memory. All these are given. I'm going to. I can try Ubuntu. Later I'll install. Right? Let's try Ubuntu. You can see the operating system will now load to my computer but it is not fast process. It is slow, step by step. Windows that is called booting. Right? This is called booting. You can see it's booting now. Operating system is loaded. Otherwise, I can't communicate with the machine. It's giving some errors. I'm not sure whether it's loaded. Okay. Trying to load. Okay, until it loads, okay, let's learn about this process quickly. Booting happens this way. ROM, or the read-only memory. First loads the firmware. So what are firmware? Netuli, what is firmware? Firmware. What is a firmware? Senali? Sorry?
The booting process.
Sorry?
The booting instructions and
yeah, it's booting instruction. Firmware means a software installed by the manufacturer. Nishpadakya visin dana software. Hari then balana me wage. So let's take a remote like this. You can see this is a remote. Me remote take tiyena on balana me software ekak tiyena. Me temperature pendanna. This is air conditioner. Remote showing the temperature. This is actually, this has a firmware installed by the manufacturer. Nishpadakya visin dapu firmware ekak tiyena. And let's take another thing. Okay, let's take this is a DSLR camera. Okay, if you see this, you turn on the camera, you can see some instruction here. You can see some instructions. I'm sure you can see it over here. So these instructions coming from the firmware by the manufacturer. These are instructions given by the manufacturer. A firmware can tamai vein. Onama device cameras remote pen drives CD, DVD drives printers even computers. Computers like a ROM read only memory. That is booting instructions, yes, as you said. But not just booting instructions. Eva vitarak neve firmware Nishpadakya dana onam ekak firmware. Washing machine, TV, radio, firmware. So the computer, the read-only memory, read-only read-only memory, it has a firmware. A firmware is load RAM because everything needs to be loaded to RAM. RAM tama pe memory. In the RAM on the load when on my main memory. Then api harunata pasitama api veda karani. Nindeng apita puluwan Sindhuki and Sindhulian Katin no Nindeng apita computer ke veda karanna, padam karanna, eva bani. Hetu api sihiya ඇතුව කරන්න ඕනේ. කියන්නේ අපේ මෙමරි එක වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ මතකේ. බ්‍රේන් එක විතරක් නෙමෙයි. බ්‍රේන් එක කියන්නේ මොලේනේ. මොලේ වැඩ නින්දෙමුත්. මොලේ වැඩ හින්දානේ හීනරවම අපේන්නේ. හැබැයි මතකය පොඩ්ඩක් නවතිනවා. ඔය මතකය වැඩ කරන්න ඕන අපි වැඩ කරන්න. ඒ හින්දා ඕනම එකක් මෙමරි එකට ලෝඩ් කරන්න. RAM එකට ලෝඩ් කරන්න. So first step, the firmware is loaded to the RAM. This firmware has a software called BIOS. What is BIOS? BIOS means basic input output system. That is also a part of firmware, right? That firmware will conduct a power on self test. Taman taniyemma test kalla balanama, it tests itself for the faults. So we call that power on self test. So what will happen? The first step is ROM. It has the firmware. It will be loaded to the RAM, means random access memory. Actually, in the hardware lesson, we learned that access memory. So whatever the content in the ROM will be loaded to the RAM. So it load a software called BIOS and it conduct post. Post means power on self-test. In this post, if there is a serious error, it will indicate by beep. ලොකු අවුලක් තිබ්බොත් එයා කෑ ගහලා කියනවා. beep 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 කියලා අර පුපුරන්න එනවා වගේ කෑ ගහලා කියනවා there is a big error කියලා කියනවා. කියන්නේ RAM memory error එකක් තියෙනවනම් VGA error එකක් තියෙනවනම් processor error එකක් තියෙනවනම් it will indicate. Motherboard error එකක් තියෙනවනම් it will indicate. But if there is a small error, minor error, keyboard එකේ keys වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ. Date time error දී. Those are called minor errors. Then it will not shout, it will not issue a beep code. Instead of beep code means a sound, right? Instead of a beep code, it will issue a pause code and pause message. So that is simple error, right? Beep code is a critical error. You can penna ගන්නවත් බෑ. The RAM එක නැත්තම් computer එකේ screen එකටවත් එන්නේ නැහැ. RAM එක වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්තම් screen එකවත් පෙන්නන්නේ නැහැ. Even screen will not work. They can a serious error. That serious error you can't display in the monitor. Serious error එක monitor එකේ පෙන්නන්න බෑ. Have a small error, minor error, you can display that in the monitor, so it will be displayed using a pause code and pause message. Pause means power on self-rest, right? If everything is okay, if no errors, it will then load the operating system to the random access memory. You can see here, this is the Ubuntu operating system. Now it is completely loaded to your random access memory so that you can right click and create a new folder. There's new folder here, create folder, and you can view your name there. So all these things are possible because now operating system is loaded to your, and you can delete that into the trash. You can empty the trash, empty recycle bin. All these are possible because now operating system is loaded, booting successful. But before booting, this happens. So it will check for the errors, main errors, it will check for the minor errors, no main errors, no minor errors, then the bootstrap loader will load the MBR. So that is master boot record. MBR. So the bootstrap loader will locate the master boot record in your portable disk, hard disk or CD or DVD. So this can be hard disk, CD, DVD, or pen drive. So it will locate this master boot record and then it will hand over the bootable process to the operating system, and finally the operating system will be displayed. The interface will be displayed. Finally, the operating system interface will be displayed. Okay, you have to write down the booting process. This is a short note. This is not a descriptive story, but very short note. So kindly write down this. If anything unclear, you can ask, right? If anything unclear, you can ask. Right, okay. Then now we learn the process. So let's move to this part. So we learn about different, so evaluation of OS, also some basic facts related to this, but still we didn't learn about these main functions of the operating system and what operating systems are doing. So now it's time to that. So it's very easy to learn that thing. So I'll show you a utility again, practicals. This is a theoretical lesson. If you know my classes today, I really don't like theories. So if you are coming to my classes for a long time, you know that I really love practicals, not theories much. Therefore, I have easy methods of remembering these theories. So that is by doing the practicals. In the වලටත් මේක lazy මම කියලා දෙන්න ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කටපාඩම් කරන්නේ නැතුව without by hearting how to remember these things, right? So the next topic here, main functions of operating systems, providing interfaces. So we learned that. Process management, resource management, security and protection. So there are more, user management. So file management, user management, process management, memory management. Here you can see input, output, device management. So all these things are the functions. Can you tell me the tool to look at this? Check this. What is the tool to check management functionalities of operating system? Okay, there are few tools. I'll finish the lesson with that practical now. So who's going to share the screen now? Is it scenario again or with me? Can you share? Anyone, so it doesn't matter. Anyone can share. Whoever the first come first get the chance. Okay, again scenario. Right. The tool is this today. The tool is here. When you right click in your task bar, empty space in your task bar. In Windows 11, this is you have to right click on the Windows button, right? Windows 11. Right here, you have to right click here in the empty location and select Task Manager. That is the tool. When you go to the Task Manager, you can see every kind of management activity in this Task Manager. The first one is per process management. If you know the Task Manager, the first it is done, the process management. And here you can see the CPU, the process management, memory management, disk management, and network management. 4 management features are here. There are lazy පාඩම් කරගන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. මේක බලන්න. Process management. To manage process, you need CPU, memory, disk, network management are also listed here. So how to get this tool? Right click here in the empty location and get Task Manager. Right click it, then Task Manager. Okay, after getting that, so go to the performance and you can see more details about your computer. So here is the utilization of your processor. So you can see the speed. The processor has processors, multiple processors. Process godak ekapara run. When multiple people are accessing single service, you need management because everyone should be given a chance. Okay, one small thing. Can you open Notepad? 193. Okay, here she has started Notepad. Now how many processors? 194 processors. The Notepad එක process එකක් විදිහට count වුණා. Shall it close the Notepad? Notepad close කරන්න පුතේ. Okay, you can see now 193 processors. තේරුණාද? ඒ වගේ multiple. එතකොට 193ක් software ම open වෙන්න ඕන නැහැ. So sometimes one software may have multiple processors, right? Word open කරන්න පුතේ. Open MS Word if you have. Word තියෙනවා නම් Word open කරන්න. Okay, she's opening MS Word. Still opening. 194 වුණා මේක. Now 198. You can see. That means one software may have multiple processors. You have open MS Word, but it has created 5 processors. Word create kara eතකොට process 5ක්. So some software might have multiple processors. Then oka ahano MCQ. In MCQ they will ask, okay, so one software has one process only one process. No. One software might have one process, but it can be more than one process. So what are the threads? Now you can see it's reducing again, right? Because it's idle, neither. Process එක නිකන් ඉන්නකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? The idle processors will go to the wait stage. ඔවත් අහනවා. අපි practically තව ටික දැන් theory කෑල්ලයි paper එකයි කතා කරනකොට ඔක තවත් පැහැදිලි වෙයි ඔක. So you can see 198 was the initial number of processors, now dropped to 195 because you are idle. And can you open this again, or can you just view this again and just minimize it again, or take a new file, Okay, opening, and now you can see again the number of processors increased to 96. නේද? මෙතනත් පොඩි peak එකක් එනවා. අර ටක් ගාලා open කරා, close කරා. So you can see that is peak. It has added some new processors. Now again dropped. Why? Some idle processors. He is compromising some idle processors. ඔක තමයි process management කියන idle process. කියන්නේ මේක වැඩ කරනකොට සමහරට වැඩක් නැති process එක දෙක එයා අයින් කරලා දානවා. මෙයා load වෙනකොට තව පැත්තකින් එයා balance කරගන්නවා. Might be related to Word or some other software. වෙන එකකට related දේවල් වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එයා අයින් කරලා process එක පොඩ්ඩක් release කරගන්නවා. And a thread is actually what is process? Process එකේ definition එකක් මෙතන තියෙනවා. මේක අහලා තියෙනවා exam එකේ. Process is program in execution. If you don't know, please write what is process. Process equal to program or software in execution. Program in execution is called a process. Program in execution is called a process. So you can see the processes. These are programs in execution. Thread is a part of process. Handlers are actually looking after the threads. Handlers කියන්නේ අත් වගේ අත් කකුල් වගේ. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි මේවා දිහා බලන් ඉන්නේ. Threads are the part of processes. Process එකේ කොටස් තමයි threads කියලා කියන්නේ. Process is a program in execution. Okay, now we learn about some practical facts related to processes, but still we didn't learn process management, right? So let's learn that in future. I just want to tell you, one task of operating system is process management. The second task, go to the memory. You can see the memory management. Go to the memory, the second one, this one. Performance of the memory. Then you will see the memory management. Right, then you will see the memory management. So here you can see in use. Page in and all we will learn, right? But today I'm just giving the introduction. You can see for 3.6 GB in used and cached 3.9. Here page pool and non-page pool, we will learn what are these things. Page pool, what is non-page pool, what is page pool. Let's learn page in and swap in, a lot of things related to memory management. So let's close word with a word close karana. So when you close word, man kon hame ekama memory eකට load වෙන්නේ කියලා. Then බලන්න 3.60 බෝන 3.5 වලට මොකද උනේ? Here you can see a drop. Sudden drop. 3.5 වලට අඩු වුණා. මොකද word අපි close කරා. When you close a program and processes වැඩි වෙනවා වගේම තමයි. Program එකක් close කරාම memory එකක් release වෙනවා. Shall we open Excel maybe? So then you can see what will happen to the chart. Chart goes up. Then Excel open කරාම chart එක උඩට යනවා තව. Chart goes up. 3.6 now. Okay, shall we close Excel? It will release. When you close Excel, it will release. Then it's going down. 3.6 now, it's going down because it's released. So this is how the memory occupies and releases. When you open something, it will go to the memory. When you close something, it will release the memory. That is memory management. Then you have the disk management, GPU management, Ethernet management, network management. These are some other things. And user management, you have users. So please go to users and you can see the user management. Only Senali is here. So under this user, you can just expand the user. Okay, this user runs these applications. These are the applications running by this user. So this is how the memory is utilized and processor is utilized. You can see the GPU utilization also. The users like if it is multi-user environment, it will show how different users use your resources. User management is also part of your operating system. And another thing, there is something called management console. So can you minimize this? This is one tool. The second tool is management console. Just minimize this. And let's go to the take a minimize karana. You can use Windows key and D key. All right, okay. Then Windows key and E key. Windows and E key. E akurai Windows. Okay, to open the Explorer, Windows and E key. Or you can open this one. All right, okay. Then right click on this PC and select manage. Right click manage. That is also administrative task. So you will be asked for the permission sometimes. Here you can see the device management, hardware management. Now you can see all the devices, cameras, Bluetooth devices, batteries, audio, processor, ports, software devices, SD applications and Wi-Fi, monitors, keyboard, mouse, everything, display, everything is there. You can manage them using your operating system. So let's say you wish to disable your USB. I just move down with the palette. If you wish to disable your USB, here you can see the universal serial bus controllers. Can you expand this? Expand this. You can see this. Then also please expand this USB. Yeah, just expand these ports. Ports. It's printer port. Okay, let's go to this mice other pointing devices. Then you can see Dell Touchpad. So right click on this. Right click on the touchpad. Here you can see you can update, uninstall. You can go to the properties. Then you can go to the driver. Driver is a software which is controlling these properties. And even you can, right, disabling is not possible. Mouse එක ගහලා තිබ්බනම් disable කරන්න දෙනවා because there are no other devices. Mouse එකකුත් ගහලා තිබ්බනම් you can even disable this. Touchpad disable කරලා mouse එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න හදාගන්න. So likewise you can enable, disable, close this. Okay, let's go to the sounds. පුතේ sounds වලට කරන්න පුළුවන් මේක. Let's go to the sounds. This. Right. You can click on this Realtek high definition audio. I think this is your sound card. And right click there and try to disable it. Disable device. Okay. Yes. Yes. No. Right. So you have to actually restart the computer. Then after restarting, okay, yes, restart karana. Here you can see your sound will be disabled. Enable you can disable the sound. So likewise you can enable, disable, change the devices, stop the devices. All these things are possible. And finally the disk management. For the moment I just want to show you. Okay, you can see your hard disk. It is disk 0. This is your hard disk. It is 120 GB. Your hard disk capacity is 120 GB. And you have a C drive here, a D drive here. You have two drives, C drive and D drive. So D drive is a small recovery partition. C drive is this. Right? You have a small hard disk. If you have a bigger hard disk, then it's possible to split this. And let's try to do something with it. Let's try to right click this. I'm not sure whether we can see, but let's try to right click on C. Then go to the shrink volume. Shrink volume. Do you have a space in your hard disk? If there is space, it will allow you to create another partition even. I'll show you next day. Next day, join in Animaring computers. A moment. Try to join in the computers because so we can do these practicals and understand these things carefully. That's why. Okay, it will take some time, seems. Yeah, okay, here you have a very small space. Only 3 GB remaining, so don't do that. No need to do that now. Cancel it, right? Okay, next day I'll show you how to manage and how to use these tools and get tasks done. Right, for today, actually, you need to remember what we have learned. And there are 2 tools that we learned. Those 2 tools are, the tool number 1 is Task Manager. We learn about Task Manager. And the next one is Management Console. We learn about those tools, Task Manager and Management Console. Next day, I'll be teaching other tools and also to work with these tools. So come with the computer. So then I can explain more. And let's learn in that way. So this lesson is very easy, but only thing is this has some technical jargons, technical terms. In order to understand these technical terms, we have to work. We are confused when we watch host, ROM, BIOS, then power on self-test, bootstrap loader. Confused. Okay, let's learn that next day, Pute. So I'll stop from here for today and good night. See you all next week.
Thank you, sir.
Come by.
Thank you, sir. Good night.